everyone, welcome to the channel. Time to get up. It's Sage. So, hello everybody. Gabriel, you should really clarify what it is you're talking about before you accuse somebody of doing something. It's really rude. That's what causes so much chaos in the world and hurt. Perhaps I wasn't talking to you. And I did. You accused me of smoking weed. Well, let's go ahead and get a read on these nasties out there. It's too early in the morning for you. You've been up all night partying, guys. You got to come on here this early in the morning and start a bunch of crap with somebody who's trying to get you a message. You got to be rude. You got to bring your masculine energy here and start attacking a feminine this early in the morning who's trying to give you a message. All right, so we've got a whole bunch of nasty jacks out there. First off, it's December 21st, 2025. It's bright and early in the morning. I just woke up and got myself a cup of coffee and decided to come here and get everybody a live update for what chaos has been going on in the system here. So we've got some nasty jacks out there, these karmic entities that feel they are superior to everybody and everything. They are accusing somebody of being an addict because they utilize plant medicine. Whatever that is. Here's the thing. These very same ones that accuse of such things are the very same ones that talk about the corpuscles, the red and white blood cells, and the vertebrae of minors. They talk about the adrenalized blood of tortured sacrificial victims. Okay, so they're talking about humanity who has been poisoned and toxified and brutalized in various ways, using plant medicines and other medicines to bring homeostasis to their temple, housing spirit and soul complex. And they call them an addict because they're using plant medicine. They hope to convince somebody of this fallacy so that they can entrap, ensnare, and continue harvesting the adrenalized blood and the endorphins and the red and white blood corpuscles out of the vertebrae of minors. So that's what this is. That's what they're talking about this morning. They're still talking about the divine feminine rising, and they're calling her use of herbal medicines a hoax. They're saying that she is a hoax in her power. They cannot surpass her energetically or magically. And they want to, or her partner. Okay, so masculine, feminine. Take it as it resonates for you. Okay. So yeah, they want to ensnare the strongest pair, the masculine and feminine, and they want to use them to reseed the population after this reset. So that's what's going on here. We have some folks out there who are fighting to degrade, defile, and destroy the reputation of powerful light-bearing stars and suns who are here to bring healing to the planet. They are the planetary stabilizers with their ability to be rooted deeply into shadow and then have their crown high into the heavens. They are the tree of the middle ground, holding stabilization here for the planet. So we got some folks out there who are saying that stabilization brought through the use of herbal medicines make this power source a hoax. However, that is the furthest thing from the truth. These men require and desperately need the energy source that is operating in this position. And they want that position, and they want those authorities and those permissions and those entitlements. So what I'm going to do is I'll go back through here at the end of the video, and everybody who is being stupid with this crystal meth crap and all this other stuff that you're trying to paint the divine feminine with, or anybody else who is out here doing good works with, I will block you. In the meantime, let us go ahead and get a read on the Nasty Jack and their vile verbiage and presentation in the world, and how that's going to work out for everybody. Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit, Holy Spirit, storyline for the collective. How's it going to work out for these nasty jacks? Nasty jacks who say that divine feminine and her herbal medicine, the healer, the wise woman who's bringing healing through natural medicines to herself, himself, and the planet. And they're calling them addicts because, you know, they want everybody on synthetic medicines because synthetic medicines actually make the temple housing spirit and soul sick, and therefore weakening the energetic production and the natural productions or protections that the spirit and soul have according to life, right? So you're upset. They're upset because the naturopath's ability to maintain homeostasis is more effective than their attempt to poison, toxify, and ensnare the energy of the wise woman and wise man's ability to alchemize and transmute energies with the Mother Earth's medicines is wonderful. And these masculines who have relied on the toxification and the degradation of thought forms So, in the central energy, what do we have for the Nasty Jack, who's trying to tear down divine feminine? I don't think Nasty Jack should ever, ever, ever receive services. You should not be receiving that. But they will insist that they're entitled, and they will try to force take. That's what all the gang RAPing is about. These guys, they're like worse than animals. You know, they go out there and they breed just to tap into the spiritual inheritance that God has set aside for the child. They feel entitled to these things because they're lazy. I heard one of them complaining the other day that rent was $1,200 and he couldn't afford it, and he was told that neither could she. So it looks like these masculines who have been abandoning the feminines to take care of themselves. You know, these masculines, they run around, they abandon the feminine and expect her to play both roles, mother and father, and then they complain about her being in her masculine energy. And they start vilifying her, degrading her with their verbiage that way. Very, very childish behavior. And so in the central energy, we've got the Nine of Cups. So you're stable. You're coming into a life of luxury. You got a lot of love. You've got a lot of emotional stability. Very grateful. You're going to get a wish come true. In the challenge position, we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So those who have attempted to deceive the world have actually deceived themselves, and now they're rethinking their approach. Oh, I can do it. Oh, that's wonderful. We're going to get rid of this one too. Come on, let's see if there's any more smart Alex here. In the subconscious. The Two of Cups. So we've got a Nine of Cups. You're going to have a life of luxury. In the subconscious, you got your person in mind. Somebody's challenged because they were deluding themselves, deceiving themselves in the recent past. The King of Swords. So Divine Masculine knows the truth of things. It's pretty obvious. We're surrounded by immaturity posing as something other. Hopes and fears. Hopes and fears. Well, we've got the Five of Cups. In the upright, somebody is disappointed. The King of Cups knows the truth about what's been going on here. King of Swords. And somebody's disappointed. They're experiencing a loss. In the near future, we've got the Six of Swords in the reverse. So there's a resistance to change. Somebody's got emotional baggage. They're trying to spew it out into the world. And you can tell by anybody who's out there just spewing trash out of their pie hole. They got emotional baggage and they're trying to release it verbally onto whoever will entertain them. The lens is being looked through. Nostalgia. In the environment. In the environment, we got the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So somebody's exhausted and overwhelmed. It's early in the morning. It's 5 a.m. There's a lot of smart alecks out there, apparently, that have been partying all night and, you know, being a little smart. Being a little smart there. Hopes and fears. We've got the Page of Swords. Somebody's restless, looking for new ways of communicating. It's so interesting to me how we've got those who are addicted to adrenalized blood and endorphins out of tortured souls. And of course, the red and white blood cells, the corpuscles out of the vertebrae of miners. This is something they talk about a lot. And they're insisting that the healers, the divine mothers, and the masculines too, who are the herbalists, and those who utilize the plant medicines for homeostasis and such. It's so amazing how they're trying to project their own addictions on what they are and what they can provide them. Their antidote is adrenalized blood. Their antidote is the vital soul energy and life force. And they're trying desperately to toxify, poison everybody and get them on these synthetic medications, and then, you know, even more so decrease the vitality of the body so that they can consume it. They can't consume it when it's high vitality. And the naturopath has brought homeostasis to their body, their temple, and these ones are upset because they can't access the energy and the soul power of it. You're just shining too brightly, you're too healthy. And they're mad and saying it's a hoax because you're using plant medicines. And it's just like no other herb. It's like oregano or, you know, parsley or whatever it is that you put into your food to add a little spice, add a little extra nutrient. It's like that moringa tree, that green stuff. There's all kinds of things that you can do to bring homeostasis and proper nutrition to your body and fuel for your mind. And you got these folks out there that are addicted to these fluids of our temple that are so upset that they can't paint us as an addict. They can't transfer their own projections onto us and have us seen like that because we're vibing too high. We're too healthy at this time, and it's making them real mad. They're trying to convince the youngers that it's a hoax and that they should go attack us. And so 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I'm listening to this vile verbiage coming out of what sounds like a man, but it's not. It's just a poser. It's a poser. So the outgoing energy, what's the outgoing energy for this, please, Spirit? Well, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, abundance. And we also have the Knight of Wands. Somebody's inspired to take action here, to manifest something. They're ready to go. Oh, the compassion of the Queen of Cups, the love that she has, the emotional stability, is bringing a painful ending to these tricksters who deceived themselves. They were fighting in the territory and for the territory. of the divine feminine, of the mother. They wanted to control her foundation. But it is her stuff. It's her foundation. It's her stuff. It's her life of luxury. It's her house, her car, her stuff. And you got these nasties in there who want to come in and deceive everybody by marrying into it and then claiming it as their own and then doing nasty stuff to this woman to get rid of her. So it looks like the King of Wands is bringing about restrictions and a disconnection for those who have been targeting the foundation of the mother. They've been talking trash about her so bad. And, you know, I mean, if they dislike the mother so bad, then they should forfeit their life. They should give it over, hand it over. Seriously. Because they've been, you know, throwing acid into the face of the mother. They've been RAPing her, handing her, passing her around into the community. Some of these communities and some of these places and spaces, it's really vile the way they treat their wives, their mothers. And I just don't think they should have the privilege to be present in her energy anymore. I just don't. I think it's wrong for her to continue to have to be treated in such a way. And honestly, I think that the masculine of this stature should be required to carry the pain of childbirth. Let them have her suffering for bringing life into the world. So you got a 9 of Cups here. A wish come true is coming up for Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine was resurrected up out of these horrid sacrificial experiences that they were having. You know, because in the dream space, they kept getting the knife, you know. Over and over again. Secrets. So 9 of Cups. There could be, it could be a secret. Whatever your wish come true is, it may be a secret. Maybe you're keeping it secret. Somebody, yeah, keeping secrets. You got to keep secrets because the trickster is out there. So it could very well be that the divine, the Most High, is keeping secret your, whatever it is you're going to be enjoying here. It could be that somebody is, rethinking their approach. They can't discover what it is that you got going on because it's a secret. Blocked. So those who were causing deception and those who deceived themselves are getting blocked. Because there's no need for them, you know, those who deceive, to be present, to take part, or even to be in the vicinity of the energy of this this wish come true, this life of luxury. So they're getting blocked. In the subconscious, we've got the 2 of Cups. Marriage connection. Oh, we got rejected. 2 of Cups, rejected. the recent past, we've got the King of Swords. Fairy tale trickster. So he knows the truth about the fairy tale, about the trickster, about the illusions. And we've got the Five of Cups here. So there's somebody's in regret. They've failed. King of Swords. And this has clarity around the phony trickster. They failed. There's experience of a loss. Happy single. They were happy single. So it's like somebody, whoever this is, somebody's disappointed. We got happily single. It could be that you're happily single. Somebody's in regret. You're happily single. Somebody's got emotional baggage. I heard somebody say in the astral the other day that there's a woman out there who is in solitude. She likes her solitude, and they said that because she's in solitude, they can do whatever they want with her. So it's disturbing listening to men talk like this. It's disheartening. You know, because they're supposed to be the foundation keepers. They're supposed to be making everything safe for the family, for the child. And they talk like this in the unseen realm. It's disturbing. You can understand why there's so much, you know, profiteering off of the suffering of humanity in their trades systems and all of that. Married. Emotional baggage. Somebody's got emotional baggage. They can't walk away from a marriage. They're married to somebody. They're not walking away. Personal transition. Unfinished business. They're resistant to change regarding marriage. We got nostalgia here. Karmic lesson. So we're looking at the history of karmic lessons. Did people learn their lessons? You know, we got these people, these masculines out there trying to convince the world that herbal medicines are drugs, and that the synthetic medicines are that mean that they, you know, they possess them, they created them, so they feel that that is their stamp of ownership over a flesh temple. And people who choose to use natural medicines rather than the synthetic medicines really tick them off, because they heal rather than just manage sick symptoms. They amplify rather than deteriorate with the synthetics, you know? So somebody may be giving up. They're feeling overwhelmed. Yeah, love, hate. They love to hate you is what it is. That's the only love they experience, is the love that they have of hating you. Collective. This is collective message. It may not resonate for everybody. I'm talking about a specific faction on the planet, and this is macro. So it's just collectives of energies that have certain patterning and you know, ways of operating. So Page of Swords is looking for a new way to communicate. Their confidence and just is destroyed. They love to hate you. They might have been cut out. They've been talking about getting back in there. So they could have been evicted from some kind of a home or business or whatever. Well, that's not going to work out, I don't think. Okay, well, I guess it is. So this is not a divine masculine, this Page of Swords. We've got losing sleep in the reverse. They can't cause you to lose sleep. You're not losing sleep. They're looking for new ways of communicating. They got a lot of restless mental energy. They're not a divine masculine. We got abundance with the Ace of Pentacles, and we've got the Knight of Wands. Somebody may want to come in and be impulsive. Karmic ties. Somebody, this Knight of Wands, wants to come in and get an encounter and create a karmic tie to somebody who has an Ace of Pentacles abundance. You are free. You're free. You're letting them go. And so we got fake busy. There could be a spiritualist here who is fake busy. This is a prideful person going through an ego death. They're in a downward spiral. They have been disconnected from you. They're desperate to reconnect those karmic connections and ties. But they've been backstabbing people, and they may want to continue mind games, round and round and round of mind games, of sweet talk. This Knight of Wands. Yeah. It could be that the twin flames are running. We're out of here, man. We're out of here. We don't want to deal with that. And we got some masculine here. They're all up in their feelings and in massive regret over this Queen Bee. The Queen Bee could be getting love messages. Maybe they're trying to send the Queen Bee love messages, but they're getting ghosted. Detached. Because they were living in the moment, living high on the hog, on the side hustle, on siphoning energy and selling it as a commodity, making a profit off of stolen life force, vitality of women and men that are single, in solitary, living by themselves and whatnot. They go in and they harvest them. They can do whatever they want with them according to their own immoral, unethical existence. They miss you, mirroring you. They miss you. They miss wearing your energy. They miss presenting themselves energetically as you. This is a jackass psycho. It's a freaking psycho jackass. They won't let go of your energy. They want to get back in it. They could be sending in members of their community to try to tag you, to try to claim it. They could get, they might be at the police station effed up over you because they may have tried to come to get into your energy, and now they're in your family is bringing them a firestorm of karma. It's like they were told not to approach you, not to touch you, not to use medicines as connectors and bridges, not to mess with your mind or your energy, and they've been doing it anyway. So your family, your new family, is messing them up, and they're getting readings. It's too late for them to do anything with you. They cannot sacrifice you. They cannot claim you. They can't trap you. They can't do any of that to you. If they try to come near you, they will not survive, because Divine Holy Mother has stated such. She's done with these animals posing as men, defiling and degrading the feminines, the daughters of Eden, and the children that come from her womb. She's sick of it. And so is the true divine masculine. God, the Most High God, and all of the family that's in that upper dimensional space and place, they're sick of these ones defiling the name of the Father. because they all are that, and they all happen to love their children, and these jackasses are just way out of line. Entitled little brats in man suits, and they use that man suit and the appendage and the hands to violate those beings, the mother and the child, that they're supposed to protect and provide for. It's pretty sad that this is who they've chosen to be. They're feeling like shit because the loved child, the beloved child of the Most High God, is getting her wish. And we've got this arrogant SOB trying to come in and propose, and you're turning your back. Yeah, because he's a thug with no strings. He wants to come in and propose, but it'll be an endless engagement or something like that. This is somebody who has left you hanging, and they could have a sex addiction. So they're addicted to eating the apple, the daughter of Eden. They're addicted to it. So they want to come in and try to attach themselves to you. But we're closing the chapter on them feeding on the essence of divine feminine, because we see the true colors of this Jezebel behavior and the love spells that have been trapping people. It's cheap and sleazy. It's cheap and sleazy. Maybe it's too early to do a live. I don't know. You know, I haven't done one this time. So it's interesting to me. Oh, there are more things. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, I thought that the commenting had stopped once I blocked those two. For a minute there, I thought I was the only one awake. All right, so you got a 9 of Cups here, life of luxury coming up. These masculines, they're really mad. They don't want the woman to have these 9 of Cups. They think that all of this wish come true, all of this wealth, all of that stuff, they feel entitled to. But they don't have a contract with you. Like God has come in and said, okay, these contracts are over. But those people who have been siphoning off of these divine feminines through trickery and fraud, you know, tagging them and then leaving them there to reside in their masculine energy while they try to hold themselves and their lives together, especially if they impregnated them and then boogied off. You know, they came in to tap that spiritual bank account and then they left. Now they're in regret because the King of Swords knows the truth about this illusion, this fairy tale of these masculines being powerful. They've just been feeding on the divine feminine and then smashing her, you know, and treating her like she wasn't anything special when she was the sustenance, the actual need in their life. So there's the wish come true, and we've got a secret. Could be a secret escape. And we've got germination. So you're getting a wish come true. Life of luxury. We've got secrets. Yeah, preserves, because you're preserving. So this is germination. You're just starting. This is the beginning of your new journey here. You've just planted the seeds. Everything is just taking off. So you're keeping it secret to prevent future issues by addressing the root causes of whatever it is that destroyed your last happy moment. You're preserving the delicate beginnings and ensuring their future by protecting their roots and rooting out the issues that can interfere with your stability or the stability of your creation here. So you're keeping that secret. You're keeping your creation secret. We've got escape. Somebody is crushed by the burden of reality. They're seeking solace in the thought of vanishing. They want to get out of Dodge. They want to escape. Your projects that you're birthing here, that your creations are secret. Somebody wants to escape. They're having doubts. They think the leap forward seems too far and they're crushed by the burden of reality. The reality is that these are your seeds and you're the gardener and it's tender. So they deceived themselves and they've been blocked. Whoa. They've been blocked from having any contracts. Those who have been being deceptive, those who deceived you, those who have been cheating and wheeling and dealing and conniving in this trickery and this fraud, they're being blocked from contracts. They pushed it too far. They took it too far. They can't have access to contracts anymore because of what they did. Oh, what's this? We got another one here. Whole bunch. Rejected. Guidance from above. So they're being rejected. So they're being blocked from having contracts. They're being rejected from guidance from above because they abandoned you last cycle while abusing you, using you, draining you of all your happiness and your wealth. So now all of your seeds, all of your cups of love, all of your good satisfaction is a secret. These ones can't tap into it. So God is protecting your stuff, what he intends for you to have. These entities are being rejected by a Two of Cups, by divine union. They're mad. They're mad. A marriage connection is being rejected. They're being blocked from contracts. And again, we got rejected according to guidance from above because they abandoned these people that they get into contract with. They drained them of everything and then they abandoned them. So they're in trouble. No more contracts. No more contracts. They're getting rejected because they were looking for sudden wealth. They wanted to tap and tag somebody who had wealth and they just wanted to drain it. And so they're getting rejected because of that, and there is no exit. They can't get out. They're not going to be able to contract with somebody and then ride on their little chariot upon their destined path. They're trapped in a situation with no exit or escape. Their experiences a perpetual return to the same situation. They got to go and do it over. They're trapped in an infinite loop with no escape, and they engaged in Sisyphean task that never ends. So they wanted sudden wealth. They thought that they were just going to get a marriage contract and then sacrifice their beautiful wife or husband for sudden wealth. And that's what they've been doing for centuries. They've been trapping people in these shady spaces, and it's just not fair. And so God is here saying, you know what? Enough is enough. You cannot have any more contracts with these. The read the other day was the devils, the codependent, low vibrational devils, aren't allowed to have union with the high vibrational temperance angels. It just, they can't have a contract like that anymore because they abused it so badly. It's a forbidden match. It wasn't supposed to happen. They're not the match. They're not the match. So King of Swords is here. He is sitting here. He's got full-on clarity regarding the phony trickster and their illusions, their fairy tales. The fairy tales. So they were interested in your destiny. You've got a very vibrant and you know, life of luxury coming at you, a 9 of Cups. And the truth is that these entities here wanted to tap into that. They got dollar signs in their eyes. They're chasing after material gain, and they're targeting those who have that. They don't want a deep connection. They don't want to build a life or a generational family tree or wealth. They just want immediate satisfaction. So the King of Swords knows the truth about that. Them and their creating some kind of illusions regarding this. So they were like, hey, I want to build with you, be with you, and all of that. But it was all about the money. So the true divine masculine knows that that is the interest of some of these other masculines' desire to gain contracts. It could be that those entities are in regret because they were happy single. They were going in and contracting with people, and then, you know, it's like they were unaliving or sacrificing their spouse to this devil, and then they were replacing them with a masculine, dressed, a duplicate, a copycat. So it's like two bros got together, and I don't know if they were intimate or not, but it's like one definitely stepped in for the wife or whatever that had the rose, you know, and then they kind of took over that abundance, that wealth. And that's how they've been getting rich. And they're happy singles. So, you know, they don't want to be tied down to a female. They don't like women. They just want what women have. The wealth that is necessary to provide for the living that comes from her womb, you know. That's why God gave her that. You know, in some cultures, it's honored that way. But in other cultures, you know, it's the masculine who feels they need to command that. But insecurity, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like a weak mind. It's like this weak mind, this dominator, tyrant, gotta control stuff. It's just a sure sign of weakness, you know. But I mean, it seems to be quite effective to everyone but a rebel. it's a puppet. So it's a puppet. We got a 5 of Cups. Somebody's in regret, over this loss. They've been blocked from any more contracts. They're being rejected from taking part in the destiny or the wealth of the mother. The Marys, these masculines the other day were saying that they were going to have to put up with the Marys for a while, which sounded really bad to me. I really don't like that language. So anyway, we got somebody there that they were happily single. They were getting these contracts and then doing their little gig for a little profit. And they're a puppet of somebody else. They go to do this deed, and then somebody else has their hand out for how much money did you get off that star, off that little temperance angel that you trapped. So they were marrying people and then living a life of a single person and then drawing off of the trapped spouse that was trapped in some kind of magical cage or whatever. I know because it happened to me. Apparently, more than many lifetimes, So, and apparently, many lifetimes, many times, they burned me. And also, I'm sure that there's also all kinds of other ways that they unalived me that were torturous and terrible. Trying to fragment the soul and split the mind of an oracle. So there is resistant to change. They're resistant to change. They got emotional baggage regarding married. We got married. Personal transition, married. They're not able to move forward. They're not able to move forward into this married world because they were contracting with people and then unaliving them and living a single life while siphoning them. So in the history, we got the nostalgia and the karmic lesson. But, oh wait. They're not, they can't move on. They can't transition out. They're not able to release their own baggage. We've got married. It could be that somebody's already married. Or marriage. They're being, they can't move into the married life with a twin flame. Married twin flame. They've got emotional baggage. It could be that the twin flames are married. Like they can't move on because, so they're unable to move on because the twin flames are married. They came together. They actually came together. Could be that there's some unfinished business. Married twin flame. So history, nostalgia over karmic lessons. You may be thinking about that. Evolving separately, becoming whole individually. So this, what? Love, hate. They called it sugar and barf. So they're twin flame. They're drawn to it, but it makes them sick at the same time. We've got karmic lesson, memories of karmic lessons. honor family ties. Well, it could be that this right here, the actual divine unions have honor. They honor family ties. They honor their family ties. That's what you could look at it. But the card actually reads that the pursuit of honor has led to inflated stories and distorted truths. You place your worth in others' hands, allowing reputation to overshadow authenticity. And then family ties says, takes each other for granted, appreciate what you have, and support each other through all, and grow together, learning from one another and evolving as a unit. So, it could be that in this space here, somebody was taken advantage of. Because here they were like wed, they had a contract, and then they were put into a little box, and this person kept drawing from them, drawing from their account, spending their wealth, profiting and from their work. So we've got the history, the nostalgia of these karmic lessons. I've heard that Divine Feminine has earned honor because of her desire to assist family. And there is public recognition, and these masculines are really upset about it because it's come out what they've been doing with these contracts, how they've been treating family. The truth has been revealed. And so we've got destroyed confidence. Somebody doesn't have any protection. They're not able to control. They have no defense. They could be exhausted. With this love-hate, you might be overly protective or somebody might be overly protective over you because of this, what's going on here. Take it as it resonates. Somebody might be giving up this love-hate thing. New beginning. So somebody's exhausted, their confidence is destroyed, they're overwhelmed perhaps, and giving up this love-hate bullpucky. We're getting a new beginning. The reset is happening. It's right here in the environment. Pressing life's reset button and setting new intentions. Gaining fresh perspectives and seeing the world anew, embracing new beginnings and letting go of the past. So yeah, it could be that you're being overly protective of yourself regarding these love-hate people. There's a new beginning. There's a reset. Page of Swords is looking for new ways of communicating. They're restless. They could be restless in the mental body. They're not a divine masculine because divine masculine is in the reverse. You're not losing sleep over it. You're not worried about it. Speaking of, I slept through the last 2 nights. All the way through. There were no messaging at all. I didn't record any messaging. Isn't that something? Or maybe they're not a divine masculine and they're not worried. They're not losing any sleep. Or maybe you just aren't. Savings. You're not losing sleep. They're not losing sleep. Mental energy, restless, new ways of communicating. Somebody who's not a divine masculine, what, isn't worried about money? Maybe they have savings. They're not losing sleep because they have savings. Ace of Pentacles is here. And we have the Knight of Wands and karmic ties. A new venture. Financial opportunities. Impulsive and fearless. Karmic ties. Condemnation. Public scrutiny causes you to question your worth and motives. Facing public opinion challenges your resilience and resolve. It could be that you have a new job here, a new career. And it could be that we got those who have karmic ties are under public scrutiny. Maybe they're pointing their finger at you. They're blaming you. They're trying to come up with all kinds of reasons why you should not be in the position you are. These ones, they seem to be really upset. Last night, in the afternoon, they kept trying to get my attention, while I was trying to do my musical meditation and stuff. And it just seems like, that those who were doing this kind of stuff, gaining contract and then leaving people in this box while pulling off of them, the wealth off of them. Now, I know that happened to me. And last night there was like a whole bunch of folks out there talking about responsibility and such. And the thing is that, God came along and said, the old contracts are over. And those folks that were elevated and gifted opportunity, divine, not these shallow, song and dance opportunities, but the true opportunities, forgot where I was going with that. Anyhow, they're real mad about it. Damn it. It's early in the morning. What the hell? We got a trump card. Trump card. Hidden riches. Hidden riches. Digging for gold. Condemnation. Impulsiveness, karmic ties, condemnation. They might be under judgment. Your new career might be bringing these ones under judgment. We got a trump card. Hidden riches and revealing them only to the worthy. Yeah. Somebody's got a new job. Reserved power and using it strategically when needed. Your power lies in patience and use it wisely to surprise when least expected. So, a lot of folks, out there have been talking about the stars and the suns and the healers being hidden for a time. And then all of a sudden they get kind of pulled up out of the darkness and boom, there's that beautiful, wonderful light. It's almost like, and a lot of people may think that this is incredibly cruel, and I don't blame them because the horrors that we have experienced, some more than others, most definitely, have been outrageous. But it's almost like the Creator planted us as seeds into the valley of the shadow of death, and then into the depths of that land, right? And we stayed there for a time, germinating like you would with the not that damn it, it's a really nice nut. It's a really big nut. They used to have them in the forest, but then they got diseased and they died off. Anyhow, you have to put them in the refrigerator for like months in the darkness in order for them to germinate, to sprout. And so I'm wondering, if these divine, sons and daughters were not planted intentionally into this darkness to germinate. And some of these folks out there that are flabbergasted by your light right now and the fact that they can't touch you, they're like, whoa, right? Because you germinated, you sprouted, and then you shot up out of the dirt and you're shining. Successful. A successful trump card. But this also says, oh, isn't this funny? Hidden riches, revealing them only to the worthy. He's digging for gold he's digging for hidden riches, revealed only to the worthy. Reserved power. Seeks validation through fame and feels unstable. The spotlight is ephemeral and brings only momentary joy. Material abundance leads to spiritual scarcity. Oh. We got peeping. Peeping. So somebody's spying, somebody's stalking. Somebody could be here now listening. They may be thinking of taking a gamble and making a small offer. They don't have anything to offer. They may try to get in the energy anyway. Chasing quick gains, ignoring long-term stability, overestimating potential returns, and underestimating the risks. They're on overload. They're on overload because of your independence. And a warning. I like you. Everybody's talking. Somebody needs a lifesaver. There's a lot of gossip. People are going under. People might be shredding documents. They're shredding documents because they got a malfunction in their happy ending. Oh, shredding documents, third party situation, an unexpected event. And it's petty gains. They want petty gains. They want somebody drinking and drugging, and so they can get in there and access that consciousness. Get you to go to battle with yourself in your mind. Well, we got somebody here routinely reaching out first. It could be, and there could be a trap. Yeah. So there's a 9 of Cups. It's a secret. It's a secret. The seeds you are planting and germinating are a secret. We've got escape. Shadow. You escaped the shadow. You escaped the shadow. The shadow is crushed by the burdens of reality, seeking solace in the thought of vanishing. Because your new seeds and delicate beginnings are being preserved. The 7 of Swords in the reverse, so somebody might be coming clean, or they're rethinking their approach. They got to rethink their approach because they're being blocked from contracts. They're being rejected according to the guidance from above because they have been abandoning those that they have been contracting with. This is a miracle and a dream come true. You're going to get what you want because they abandoned you while spending all of your wealth and claiming your work, your value. While they went out there and partied up, filthying the energy that was being shared between you, even though there was no connection really in the 3D. They filthied the energy while they pulled and claimed reward for your work. So the 2 of Cups, marriage contracts, these ones are being rejected from these contracts because they were using them to gain sudden wealth. And they are trapped in this situation with no exit or escape. They're trapped within an infinite loop. Now they got to go to work. They got to go get a job. They got to go get a job. I heard somebody say, rent is $1,200. I can't afford that. And the leader said neither could she. So whoever was in this contract, this fairy tale contract, you probably never knew them. They probably went and got you all hooked up with some false contract in the dream state and then siphoned you for money. And they probably let their bros come in to dream time and get a little too for a profit. Freaking treated you like a prostitute and prostituted the energy. And then took credit for the work that you did while not doing anything. So yeah, and while you had to pay your own rent and they were siphoning everything too, most everything. It's like, you ever notice that when you get taxed, it's like, I mean, I figured it out once a long time ago. I was so disgusted. It was like 40% or something was coming out in taxes and insurance and all of that. It was so disturbing. I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. So there's no exit, and now we've got street exhibit. They're going to go around and around and around on this. They were gaining sudden wealth by trapping the rose. By trapping the rose. By trapping. They were going to get married, and then they would bail on them, put them in a little box, and then draw off of them. And they were trapping the rose and using them as some sort of an exhibit. Hey, let's go astral project into my wife's house, And you never knew who that person was. It could have happened a long, 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 long time ago. A long, long time ago. They said long, 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 long time ago. So this has been going on a long, long time. King of Swords, Divine Masculine, has clarity regarding this fairy tale illusion, trickster crap, whose only interest was material gain. And that was, so they were hijacking the destiny of divine females. Please flip the script if you need to. I don't want to upset anybody. I'm not leaving you out or nothing. It's just what I'm reading, what I'm picking up on. So yeah, it was a fairy tale. They were selling a dream. They were selling a dream to divine feminine, and then they were doing her dirty, man. Doing her real freaking dirty. And they were laughing and calling themselves conquerors and crap. Incredibly shallow and brutal. You're not a clown. You're not a clown. You're not falling for the clown. The camouflage is off. You can see the clown. There, look. Whatever this is, apparently there's a long-standing feud, like a familial feud or something. Apparently in biblical whatever stories. Now, I don't know if it's Jacob and Esau or Cain and Abel. Whatever it is, these families have been warring with each other since way back when. Recycling everybody, unaliving them in the spirit while you're sleeping. They keep sacrificing us in the other world, in the dream space. I think that's all coming to an end, though. So they regret being happy single and using you as a puppet because you have a commitment. There's a commitment. They were committed to you. They swore to protect you. They pledged themselves to you. They promised themselves to you. Or maybe you have a new commitment now. Maybe they were committed to somebody else. Who knows? Some of these folks, they swore to protect you, and then they sold you off. And then they sacrificed you over and over and over again. And then they kept harvesting that. After every lifetime of suffering, these jackwagons would go in there and then sacrifice it and pull the profit off and take credit for the work that you did in that cycle of suffering. And they'd go out there. They were committed to it. But they'd then go out there and portray themselves as happily single, and they'd spend all of that wealth, all of your initiation profit, filthying the energy that they were still connected to on you, making you look like something you weren't. So what we got here is the Six of Swords in the reverse. They're not able to leave because they really played the divine feminine bad. So they're resistant to change, but the change is that whoever this was that he screwed over so heinously is married to their twin flame now. They got married and they're ascending. So now they have a lot of emotional baggage. They betrayed the commitment. It was all for profit. It was shallow and base, really, you know. So we got the nostalgia regarding the karmic lessons. And what I see here is that you have honor. You have honor. You embody honor. You are being honored. And by what? New family ties. New family ties. Because you've learned the lessons of those who take you for granted. You've learned the lesson of not putting your own sense of value in other people's hands. It's between you and God. God tells you what your value is, not these other people. They're so mad that you're taking the gift that God gives you. It's like God gets to say what my value is, not these others. You know, they don't have any entitlements. They didn't grow anything with me. Neither did they, many of you. They're unknown, invisible string pullers. They're real mad. They're real mad. They're real mad because there is honor here. The one that they tried to bury, the one that this clown tried to set up and frame and destroy for profit, it didn't work this time. It didn't work this time. Honor. Family ties, married, ascending, honor, great shadow, great light, fiercely independent and free in her sovereignty. And there's folks out there who complain that after all of the poisoning and the toxification and the death magic and the failed organ magic and the lose your teeth magic and the get fat and ugly magic and the have your hair fall out magic and, you know, get in a car accident, be unstable, lose your home, have your pet die, whatever magic, you know, after all of that disturbing interference, they complain that this fiercely free and temperance, powerful woman is an herbalist, a healer. She has brought homeostasis and incredible stability to her life through nature. And they're angry because their best attempt to poison, toxify, and get them hooked on their synthetic medicines, you know, to be dependent on them for life, sort of failed because it was entrapment. And it's been revealed that this has been the pattern, you know. Somebody might be overly protective over you, or somebody who loves to hate you has their confidence destroyed. You're getting a new beginning. It's about ready to start. It's in the environment right now. Let me say that this is a collective planetary read. When I'm reading, it sounds like I'm reading for a pair, but it's really just an entire collective energy, right? Pairing and circumstance. So it's not, I mean, look, you're getting a new beginning because we've got look for, we've got investigate, explore, and search. So you're pressing the reset button, embracing new beginnings and letting go of the past. You've investigated what has been happening here, or maybe this is what you're doing. You could be exploring new things. The Page of Swords is restless. They're not a divine masculine. They're not losing any sleep. They have savings. They might be searching for you. Yeah. Finances. So somebody's not losing sleep. They got savings and finances. A fortune. You're getting a new beginning. You're not losing sleep over this divine, over this masculine who's not divine. They're trying to communicate with you. They're Ace of Pentacles. So there's prosperity here. We got the Knight of Wands and karmic ties and condemnation. Public scrutiny could be here for the uninvited guest. So there's been talk of an invasive species posing as humans, and they've been feeding on and doing all kinds of horrible things. And so we've got condemnation and public scrutiny for the uninvited guest. And this is the these two. So they've been, what? I don't know. That looks like sex magic to me. So it could be that they're being accused of, so there could be a new career, an Ace of Pentacles, or there could just be an abundance of accusations. There's a big change for the uninvited guest. Letting go. They're being let go. Divine intervention. Because of all of the messages, people are getting the messages. They're getting messages. There's a breakup. Divine intervention. There's a separation occurring. The new beginning is about to occur. We got push the button, push the red button here in the environment. It looks like their investigation maybe finishing up. Yeah, forbidden law or forbidden love between the devil and the angel. They weren't this forbidden. So now the law is stepping in on this. What I get from this is I get feasting, drinking, that adrenaline junkie, that corpuscle, the endorphins and all that crap, the drinking of this. So there's a change happening in the home for those who have soul, who have a soul song, who never gave up hope. I heard somebody call it faith of a mustard seed or hope of a mustard seed. Yeah. The third party enemies, they took a gamble. But we're getting a new beginning here, or you're getting a new beginning, and they miss you, Rose. They miss their sacrifice, and they're desperate to get it back. It's credible what they're coming up with. It's crazy. But it could be that you're thinking a lot about reconciliation. twin flame reconciliation. After all of this, this crap that's been going on, this interference. It could be that it's a secret, that it's a mystery. It's a silent mystery. It could be somebody from the past, definitely. Somebody, most likely, from thousands of years ago. You know, you've been bound in some kind of holding cell or whatever like this. You know, and it's crazy. You know, and I don't know, these contracts, how you know, there's some reorganization happening with those, I hear. No matter what happens, when a divine feminine has property or business or wealth or anything like that, it cannot be taken from her. And it cannot be gifted to somebody by her. That's what I heard. So it's like, no matter what happens, nobody's going to be taking or receiving what has been allotted to her. You know, it'll probably just go back to the divine and they'll redistribute it or something. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. So yeah, we got somebody that from long, long ago. It's going to be divine timing here, because you are wide awake and the sun is setting. You're very firm about bringing this to a close. You know exactly what's been happening here. You see very clearly. And you could be delivering your Akashic experiences over all of this time very clearly. We've got crown. So the snake was mirroring your crown. Yeah. But your talent here that you developed while being alone, this being able to clear or manage the frequencies within your temple, your waters, was really good. It could be that you're a hidden truth. You revealed the hidden things. Maybe you are the secret. It made life real hard for the shining ones, the diamonds. Yeah. Yeah. They were tempted. They were tempted by a quick fix, you know. They didn't want to develop the skill of being patient. They didn't want to develop the skill of settling their energies in an unsettled environment. You know, they didn't want to develop the skill of perseverance. And, you know, the knowing that we have life lessons to learn. Unfortunately, our lessons were manipulated, but still, God is always a nanosecond ahead, manipulating the path so that we gain the highest benefit. So it just takes time sometimes to come into alignment with what is meant for us. And if we're not patient and we don't do the work and wait for it, then we're going to settle for something far less than what was intended for us. And it's silly. It's just silly. That's what I think about it. So we got the Nine of Cups here. What you plant, the seeds that you're planting, that you're growing here, are secret. We've got the shadow is the other side are having doubts, very heavy doubts. Crushed by the burdens of reality, what they have been found guilty of. You know, and it's incredible. I think maybe this is what I was trying to say earlier. It's like they push in and they're trying to push in this responsibility thing. You know, they're hollering out there, you're responsible for this, you're responsible for that. And you know, being a telepath is difficult at times because these feel like personal messages, but it could just be that I'm hearing somebody hollering at somebody else over there, you know? I mean, very well could be. It's difficult not to take these things personally because it feels personally. Because as an empath, the energy of it as well as the audio of it runs through me. And, you know, it's intense sometimes. And I think that, you know, being an alchemist is one of those things that are necessary because the energy hits you. And sometimes, you know, if you got any snags or anything like that, it can get hung up in there and then do a thing. So somebody deceived themselves. They're being blocked from further contracts. This devilish energy and this temperance angel energy, there's no more contractual agreements there. They're being rejected from guidance from above because they were abandoning those that they were contracting with. This is a miracle. This is a miracle that peace is being restored in your life and in the life of the family unit. You know, those, you won't have to be paranoid when you connect with somebody wondering, you know, is my person of the future just here to, you know, be with me for a year and then unalive me on the anniversary or something, you know? So, because we've been through this many, many times, so there is that soul memory, and you know, we got those out there trying to instill fear and paranoia also. But there's no anxiety here. You're getting a dream come true. You're getting what you want. You're going to be released from this energy that has been bringing you anxiety. It looks like the unified love partnerships are rejecting these entities who were contracting with people for sudden wealth. They are trapped because they were using their roses as street exhibits, circulating them. Profiting off of energy harvesting and such. They lost. They lost. There's no exit for those who were contracting with people for sudden wealth. They're being rejected by these marriage contracts. The King of Swords, Divine Masculine, knows the truth. He has clarity regarding these fairy tales, these phony trickster illusions. These entities, these masculines, who were just looking for money, and they were tagging women who had a fantastic destiny ahead of them. And we've got the camouflage is off. Everybody can see the clown. They're not able to get revenge. They're not laughing at you now. Their performance failed. Their performance failed. Their performance failed. You're no longer alone. You're not alone. So, or they have to leave you alone. So we got alone here. This says you feel like you are in this situation all by yourself, but it won't be like this forever. It's like the clown, like you're no longer alone. You're not in this alone anymore. King of Swords can see very clearly what these ones have been doing with these contracts. They're in a 5 of Cups They're in a Five of Cups regret over being happily single. They were committed to protecting you, and instead they puppeted you. They gathered the wealth from the effort that you put forth, and they kept themselves on the other side of that wall, living a different life completely. You were just a hidden little prize that they pulled wealth from. They were committed to protecting you. They swore an oath, and they abandoned you. And you're not alone anymore. You're not alone anymore. It's seen very clearly what they were doing here, because you are this fierce, independent woman. You've received honor, medals of honor. Apparently, you know, like the indigenous cultures and all of that, they had them bound and trapped in some of these spaces and places. And apparently they have been emancipated. And so this is really wonderful because of the testimony of these roses that were being hidden like that and puppeted, siphoned by those who swore to protect them. They had an oath. This is the most heinous betrayal ever. So because of this, because of your beautiful talent at alchemizing energy and becoming more and adding more value to your soul, encompassing all that these ones were throwing at you and bringing balance to it. And the amazing thing is that there's many of these masculines all concentrating on her, right? And it's crazy to think about how expanded this person had to become in order to encompass all of that vile filth that they were projecting in on her. It's crazy. So there's honor here because the truth has been revealed about what they've been doing to others through her own experience. And again, please do what you need to do with the genders, okay? It's a feminine on the card, so I'm just telling a story so that it's easily digestible. See, they broke their promises. They left you alone. You became fiercely independent. And now you got these immature masculines out there saying, well, they're too much in their masculine energy. You know, excuse me. That's what happens when the protector abandons their prize. And they force them through suffering so that they can get a bigger prize. They got malice in their heart. They did not represent the Father in a good way. So somebody may be overly protective of you regarding this love-hate situation. Perhaps you are overly protective of yourself. It could be that somebody is exhausted and giving up on this love-hate situation. The button is about ready to be pushed. The new beginning is here. The investigation has been done or is still being done. Or the investigation is bringing ruin to those things that you no longer need are falling away to make room for the love that you deserve, the proper love that's been being hijacked and drained of its wealth, that's been stagnated and, taken advantage of. So the research has been done, the investigation is done, and what you no longer need is falling away in ruins. The new beginning is here. Yeah. So Page of Swords is here. They got restless mental energy. They're not a divine masculine. We've got somebody's not losing sleep because they've got plenty of finances. Maybe he's restless because he's with somebody that's not a divine masculine. He's learning from somebody that's not a divine masculine who isn't losing sleep because I got plenty of money. So what are they doing? I don't know. It's like, what is this? So somebody's not a divine masculine. They got lots and lots of money. We got savings. So they're dipping into their savings, their finances. They may be having money problems. Needs. They have financial needs. Or maybe they've gotten their money by contracting with these divine feminines and then doing this, leaving them there with not taking care of their needs. That's how they got their wealth. They committed to somebody and then left them in the dark without any care or compassion. That's how they got their money. Somebody's not losing sleep over it, though. They're falling away in ruins because the investigation shows that this Page of Swords is not a divine masculine. They were not losing sleep over gaining money, over these contractual agreements. I'll protect you for blah, 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 blah. And then they just automatically like take everything and leave you there, playing a single life. We got Ace of Pentacles. This is new abundance now. We got the Knight of Wands. Fearless, impulsive energy, karmic ties, condemnation, public scrutiny for the uninvited guest. Public scrutiny. There's a big change, a moment of decision. They're facing public opinion. And we've got pieces. It could be that they're facing public opinion because you were always picking up the pieces when things fell apart. They're being condemned for doing that. These two. So you got Mr. Passion, and then you got his little third-party witchy friend or whatever that are constantly like binding people into these things, right? So those who did, I'm not saying this is a particular pair, I'm just saying this is a story. Please take it as it resonates. And if it doesn't fit you, don't take that. Oh my gosh, don't get mad. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. So, yeah. They're being condemned because they were making these contracts with these beautiful potentials, and then they were burying the potential and pulling off the seed rather than allowing it to become a tree. Basically, you have escaped. You have an exit plan, or maybe they need one because you escaped. They are far away from you, or these yeah, you've escaped. Okay, so you've escaped. You're escaping. You have an exit plan. These many flames, these lights, these beautiful healers, alchemists, creators, generators, manifestors. They're going to go, there's going to be some distance put here, and they want forgiveness, but you're leaving. And for me, forgiveness these days means that, especially now that I know this has been going on for centuries, I forgive myself for not having the strength or the knowledge or the ability to address this earlier. And I release them. Because I don't wish to address this at all anymore. I'll go hindsight over it and learn from the experience and then heal, and that's it. That's all I want. I've learned my karmic lessons. I've learned my karmic lessons of those people who break promises, contract with people, and then leave you there to become your own support system. And now they're all mad and they're out there bitching and moaning and complaining and slinging slurs and being nasty to those divine feminines who are just minding their own damn business. They're not bothering anybody. They're not trying to make a name for themselves. They simply are. And this annoys them to no end. So, yeah, the secret is the dark side was not telling the whole story. They were casting illusions, playing tricks. Phony. So, because they were just playing games with love, and then they burned the one that they claimed to love. It's crazy, man. Crazy. So the truth is revealed because divine feminine is fierce and she is the mother figure. Life comes from her, and she certainly knows how to nurture it and manage it in a good way. And this infuriates these people. It's crazy to me that they would actually think that the mother would not be able to tend herself and manage herself in a good way with all this brutalization that has been spinning around in her toroidal field. You know, it's insane that these masculines would feel the need to compete in such a manner. It's sad. You know, and the one thing that kind of keeps me settled is thinking, you know, this is the 10 of Wands period, right? Where like we're at max, you know, burden, but we're also at the stage of completion. So we're about ready to enter like level 1 or whatever. So it'll be nice and easy, you know. I'm helping. Oh, here's a song. We'll sing in the sunshine. We'll laugh every day. So we got a 9 of Cups here. Your seeds, what you are birthing, what you are growing, what you are creating is a secret. You have escaped the shadow side. They have been found guilty of lying and cheating. You love yourself. You healed or loved yourself to health. You loved yourself enough to familiarize yourself with every aspect of your flow. They're mad. They're mad because rather than spend time doing that and getting to know self, they just projected all of themselves onto others, and it's nasty. It's just nasty. Nasty boys. So, you know, because they were so deceptive here, 7 of Swords in the reverse, they're being blocked from further contracts. They're being rejected on guidance from above because they abandoned everybody in the previous contract and then treated them like SHIT. So there's a miracle, a dream come true. Your anxiety problems are going away. These ones want forgiveness. You're getting a miracle. You're getting a miracle. Of course, there's still threats. Always. Oh, they want forgiveness. You're getting a dream come true. Your need, you know, these things that have been causing you anxiety are going away. You're getting a miracle. Yeah, somebody wants forgiveness. But the 2 of Cups is rejecting these people who were contracting with divine and beings for sudden wealth. There is no exit for them because they turned the rose into a street exhibit and now they have lost the rose. There's a secret. So they've lost because what? For lying. They lost. They lied. They lost because they lied. So King of Swords knows the truth about the phony trickster illusions regarding these fairy tale marriages. They were in it for the money. They were targeting divine feminines and then contracting with them. The clown's camouflage has failed. Their performance also has failed. You're no longer alone. The truth has been revealed. So they're in a 5 of Cups, regret over, doing you like that, being happy, being single, when they had created an oath, they had pledged a promise to protect you, but instead they hid you away and treated you like crap. They gained off of you. They took your wealth, and everything from you. Look, there's nothing in the room. Nothing. No person, no furniture, no nothing. They took it all. When they had pledged to protect you and to probably generate more wealth with you, instead they just siphoned it all and left you there, and then tried to cast some damn illusion of your unworthiness. What a POS. Somebody wants to talk? But we've got the 6 of Swords in the reverse, so they're not able to move on. There could be a marriage, with a twin flame, an ascension, a level up, a promotion. You've got a new family now. You've got a new family, higher vibrational family. You graduated, you leveled up. You leveled up because this is what you did when they left you alone. You didn't just fall down and say, woe is me, and just, have your brain crack and go insane and need to be institutionalized. You pulled up your big girl panties and put on your boots and you went there. You went there. Daydreaming. I'm always longing for you. You might be daydreaming about leveling up. So there is nostalgia. You might be remembering your karmic lessons, or maybe because of the history of karmic lessons, you have received honor and a new family. You're fiercely independent. You're a leader. You take the initiative. You don't need anybody to guide you. These ones left you alone, and then collectively they came and attacked you from an unseen space with all of their hidden and forbidden witchery and other things. They broke their promises. They did not keep their oath. Rather than protect you, they decided to try to destroy you. They did the exact opposite. And they took everything from you and cast the illusion that you were worthless, that you were a tramp, and that you could not manage your own life. But you love yourself to health. You have a wealth of love inside of you. Inside of you is where the healing happens. And those guys decided to go shallow rather than deep. And that's on them. That's on them. They got gossip here. People are talking about broken promises, broken contracts. framework, deceitful convictions, and then harvesting and punishment. It's a cycle. Everything's a trap. Medicines are a trap. The food is a trap. So somebody's exhausted. They could be, their confidence may be destroyed. They were not able to take you out. They thought they were competing, and you just thought you were trying to love somebody and assist them and being more than they were before, adding value to their soul. You were trying to be kind, and instead, the kinder you were, the more you gave, the more they wanted to destroy you. That's just the way that it goes, right? So now it could be that you're being overly protective, or somebody is being overly protective of you because they know the truth here of this love-hate situation. We're getting a new start here, a new beginning. God is going to push the button. We're going to push the button and we're going to go on forward. And this investigation, everything that you had looked for, everything that you had found is going to be falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. All this nasty stuff about this love-hate situation is going away. Because we're coming into responsible family units who actually care about each other. They manage themselves, their financial wealth, and their emotional needs very well. They nurture each other. They pour love into their shared energetic field. You know, singularly, we have a 6-foot diameter of our own electrical field. As a family unit, our field grows. And dependent on the health of that field is dependent on the wealth of that tree. How potent is it? How powerful is it? Who's tending the electricity of the temples within this unit? I mean, it's serious business. And you got old shallow Hal there looking for a cheap thrill, you know, and just screwing everything up. Leaving the mothers here like this. It's like, oh, woe is me, because they had pledged their suffering energy to some entity for a perk or whatever. I know they hate me. I know. Absolutely. Most of my life, I can tell you, I've been like love here, like, you know, I suppose, by spirit. Or I suppose myself. So I'm getting whacked up one side of my head by like, I like me, you know, and then I get all this other pressure from the other side. Oh, I hate you. And I think everybody does. They say angel on one side, devil on the other, smashing you with this love-hate thing, right? It's this constant flux. Boom, boom, boom. And so our temple, our transmitter receiver is constantly being bombarded by this immense pressure. And so to hold temperance in that is a challenge, and especially if you're not aware that it's even happening, you're going to be yanked this way and yanked that way by the emotional body. So, yeah, so those non-divine masculines who did not lose any sleep over receiving money off of draining people from what they needed in their life. They're being held back. There's no roots. There's no fruit. There was only take, and betrayal. Perhaps some, you know, yeah, there's some real nasty stuff. So you got the Ace of Pentacles. You got a new career, a new venture. This Knight of Wands has karmic ties, and they're being condemned. Perhaps publicly scrutinized. They're an uninvited guest. I heard that there was a invasive species. An invasive species posing as men or whatever, or women, whatever. So, yeah, so they're being condemned because they left you always picking up the pieces. They would tear things down, and then you would have to pick up the pieces. So you were constantly picking up pieces rather than actually constructing and being in your purpose. You were always preparing crap for them that they would enjoy.
We got overwhelmed. Somebody may have gone to pieces. Somebody may be overwhelmed. They're stressed out because they're being condemned. They're being condemned for mistreating you. It's like they were so callous, you know, and cruel about it. Third party, triangular, intimate encounter, sort of infidelity, F-fest, you know, for profit and gain while breaking hearts and harvesting low vibrational pain energy. You know, they're just sick, man. So the third party is having disagreements. They think that you should feel sorry for them. And this is what I was saying. I was hearing like these entities were like hollering last night how that it's somebody else's responsibility to make this okay for them. You know, I mean, the rose has been emancipated from that duty, from that command. So these ones are, you know, these reflections are getting the reciprocity of what they did, and they're upset. They want their savior to come in and take the load off them, to take the heat off them. They need a relationship. They need to get into the energy so that they can claim that they have, you know, permission to be covered by whatever your protection is. I think that it's fair to say that your protection probably isn't going to allow that to happen. They're being detached from commitments, from marriage contracts, because what they were doing, they made mistakes. You escaped. They gambled you, and you escaped. They were lying. They could not separate you from love. You are love. They lied big time. They laid so much crap onto the rose. It's so unbelievable. They lied. And now the rose is gone, emancipated. They cannot trap the rose, and they're feeling the absence. And they're upset because they're not protected by this fabulous energy. And God knows what has happened here. And Divine Masculine sees the truth about this fairy tale. And there's trouble in their paradise, I guess. Because the way that the rose loves is irreplaceable. The way that you love cannot be matched. This is your destiny. You can't be replaced on this destined path. And somebody they're unsatisfied, or maybe somebody wasn't happy with the way things were going. Maybe there's unsatisfaction, but we have a reunion here. There's an understanding that you were abandoned and neglected, you know, so somebody and that people were laughing at you and pushing in addictions and lower vibrational habitual patterns and such to make you appear as though you were unworthy. We got unfinished business here now because you never gave up hope for this, and it's obvious, you know, because you're identifiable or whatever that means. And somebody is confused because they've been found guilty of not appreciating the beauty that you have to offer. They kind of took you for granted, you know, with this impulsive, reckless sex stuff, you know, to tap into the energy to do this, you know, these false contracts. And many of these, I think, were just done in the 4D, in the dream state. We never knew these people at all. So now they don't know what to do because you got a new soul contract. And the new chapter, this says, I am trying to move on. So we got a new chapter. There's a new chapter here. And of course, the people who are prideful are hurting from what they have done, and they want to fix the connection. But it's not going to happen. Somebody said the other day that I didn't know how to read cards, and I'm telling you, I'm not reading cards. Well, I guess I am, but I'm telling a story because it's what it is. It's amazing how insulting people try to be. I don't understand. But That's because I'm not like that, I suppose. Oh my gosh. So nice. Thank you. So we've got the Nine of Cups here, and the seeds that you are planting, those ideas and intellectual properties that you are bringing into manifestation are protected. It's secret. You've escaped this shadow realm, this other side, and they have been found guilty of lying and cheating. You loved yourself to health, and you still are healing. They lied about you. Big time. They lied. They thought that they had brutalized you so badly that you were going to be broken, just like their promises. Labor. So you did the work to heal yourself through loving yourself. You discovered what love is, and you know, still to this day, I can't say what love is, because to me, it's like you just are. You just choose to be in the energy of, right? It's sort of like the sweetness of living water. You can't quite separate out the flavor, you know, but it's there, distinct. And it's like the blue of the sky. It certainly is there, but you cannot hold it in your hand, you know? It's kind of like one of those things. So anyway. So yeah. I guess love would be choosing to just be kind and gentle and in that energy, and then and it has to be inside, so it has to be given to self first. And you know, it's not so easy to do when you have people interfering and making noise in your environment. It could be tending very carefully and you know, lovingly the inner divine, and knowing that the life that you're connected to life, and so you know, it's that maybe, I don't know. To me, to try to put a description on something so sacred as this would be kind of like to limit it, put limits on it. And it's just, sometimes loving yourself is silent. And it's unconscious. Like it just, like healing sometimes just happens by being silent. And then, of course, listening to all this mess. So, because somebody, so we got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Somebody might be coming clean, or they deceived themselves, and now they are blocked from contracts. They're being rejected on guidance from above, from the Most High, because of the way that they were abandoning those that they had pledged an oath of protection and growth with. Yep. So your days of anxiety are over, because you're getting a miracle, and these people want forgiveness, or perhaps you have been forgiven for, because the truth is here. It was a fairy tale. It was all a lie. Yep. It was a lie from the snake. It was a snaky lie. You're getting a miracle. You're getting a miracle. Because it was the snake. It was a snake abandoned you. They did you dirty. They did you dirty. They did you real dirty. So the Two of Cups are rejecting this person or people. I'm looking at the planet, so it's planetary. This, whatever, this mindset where people were just contracting with others who had wealth or who were destined to come into it, and then using them as a street exhibit, as a puppet to go do their labor for them, treated them like they were nothing, worthless, while they went out there and had a single life. They betrayed their commitment with the rose. They did not protect. They disposed. So they lost their limelight position. They lost their rose. They lost that status. Secrets. King of Swords knows the truth about the phony trickster causing illusions and fairy tales regarding marriage contracts. This person was only interested in chasing after material gain at the cost of deeper connections, valuing wealth over emotional bonds, and profit prioritized, heart overlooked. They were spying on and stalking these divine beings, and then introducing themselves and contracting with them in a marriage. This clown's performance has failed. Their camouflage has failed also. You're no longer alone. The truth is revealed. Somebody may be getting a visitation. Somebody wants to tell you the truth. Maybe the truth has been revealed. Somebody's getting a visitation. The camouflage doesn't work. Oh, I did hear something last night. Somebody said there's thousands of them. I don't know what that meant. I dozed off after I heard that. So we got the Five of Cups. Somebody's in regret over living the single life and being quite happy with it. They contracted with their divine partner, and then they hid them away. And they benefited off of their work. They could have benefited off of the communications that were coming in through the mental body, the roses, divine connections to source. And they were puppeting, using that, claiming that energy, that value as their own. They had pledged an oath to protect, to guide, to grow. They made a promise. And instead they offered betrayal. We got service. They were committed. You're a being of service, and they were committed to protecting you. Oh my gosh. They've been talking about the planetary stabilizers, those beings who are rooted deep in the shadow and whose crowns are high into the heavens, and they stabilize the planetary system here by being temperance energy in that space. And so these entities were contracted with each other, and these masculines decided to break their pledge to somebody who was here in service, and instead of protecting them and making certain that they were going to be able to do their job, they decided to puppet them, steal their intellectual property and present it as their own, get paid for it, and then they use them as a freaking street exhibit. A profit system for dirty old men. Well, entities pretending to be men, maybe. That's what that is. So now we got the Six of Swords in the reverse. They're unable to move on because you married your twin flame over there in the spirit somewhere. You ascended, you leveled up. And now, you've been promoted. You reached for the sky, you reached for the sun, and, you were seen. So you could be daydreaming about an encounter or this transition, this, haunted. Somebody might be longing for you. They could be haunted by the memory of you. Yep, somebody's haunted by the memory of you. They want you back. You made everything okay, but it was rude, man. It was absolutely rude. To accuse the wife of being irresponsible while being treated in such a manner is crazy. It's like major projection. So we got nostalgia regarding their karmic lessons. You have received honors and a new family ties with your twin flame. You're a great shadow and a great light. These entities of the previous chapter did not keep their promises. They broke your heart, but they could not break your spirit. And there's gossip about it. There's gossip about it. Those folks of the past are hollering at each other out there, demanding that somebody take responsibility for their suffering. It's crazy. So you've got a defense. They're gossiping about your defense. They're gossiping about your protection. They say you have a mighty shield and that they can't penetrate it. So they're exhausted with this love-hate game. They might be giving up, or they've just, their confidence is kind of bruised or whatever. And you may be overly protective, or somebody is being overly protective over you. We're getting a new beginning. Overly protective over your new beginning. The research has been done, and all of those things that you don't need are falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. A responsible family unit, loyal and loving, compassionate and caring, supportive and stable, enduring. It's time. It's time. It's time for the new beginning. We got a Page of Swords, or it's just an immature masculine looking for new ways of communicating. They're being very restless. This is somebody who's not a divine masculine. They were not worried or losing any sleep whatsoever about draining your savings, taking your finances, your wealth, and leaving you there with no wealth, they weren't tending your emotional needs, your physical needs. You may not even know who these people are. The other day, I heard somebody say, "Do you still love me?" And I heard a woman say, "I don't even know who you are." And it's like either they took her memories or they erased them or something like that. So, and she said that he was cruel. So, what? Are they surprised? So you're holding back. Oh yeah, so they're being held back. The way that they treated you. They're being held back from the Evermores. They're being rejected by these contracts by these Two of Cups contracts, because they were in it for sudden wealth, and they were abandoning their pledge. They're being rejected by contracts. No more contracts. No more Evermore contracts. Because they don't have any roots. They didn't produce any fruit. They didn't even try. They tried to destroy the tree. But the tree refused to die. God said, "No, not this tree. not this tree. So there's an Ace of Pentacles here. There's an abundance of knights, perhaps, with karmic ties being condemned. This is an uninvited guest. It could be the invasive species. There are interdimensional doorways. I saw one open in the middle of a freshly mowed like wheat field or something. It was like a glass door. Anyway, uninvited guests, probably from some other dimensional space, came here to do this nasty crap within our marital contracts and family trees. So they're being condemned. You were always picking up the pieces when it fell apart, and now you're looking for the complete package. It could be that they are falling into pieces, and it could be that they're just stressed out that you kept picking up the pieces. You kept picking up the damn pieces with a broken heart. Now they're stressed out. They're yelling. They're demanding that this person here that they broke contract with, that they broke every promise with, that they left alone, and then greedily, look at the face on this thing. Look at how they were. I mean, it really was that way, you know? And hand out. And I heard also Divine Masculine say, well, I don't know what to tell you guys. You were concentrating on her. And please, it could be him too, because I'm sure it happened to the masculines as well. And you kept pouring in all this nastiness, right? This energy and all of that. So as a temperance angel, they brought alchemy to it, right? And balanced it. And so now the energy that they projected in as a collective is this person's energy. They can do with it whatever they want. They've been emancipated, leveled up, ascended. They've grown exponentially through these experiences of abuse. It's crazy. And they brought the truth. Ooh, martyr. Ace of Pentacles. There's an abundance of, it could be, what do they call that? Retribution, or, I think that's one of the words that they were using, retribution. There has to be retribution. They have to pay back with interest everything that they did regarding this. So it's like, there could be like a new financial opportunity here. You got to get restitution. Is that restitution? Retribution? Something like that. Anyway, because these knights and with their female karmic ties were out there getting money and not losing any sleep over it by doing this kind of stuff, being shady. And now they're being condemned because of it. And we got martyred. They're stressed out. Martyred, they might be martyred. Everything's falling to pieces. They're stressed out over being martyred, over martyring you, over martyring the rose, over this game that they were playing with the lives of their spouses. Communication. So it could be that you handled this type of interaction or whatever perfectly. Like you didn't take any shortcuts. You really just learned it, by absorbing it, I guess, and then alchemizing it. They were contracting and then like beating you up and stuff, calling it a competition when it was supposed to be a partnership, a union, a creation, a co-creation. So it's like, so apparently there's a prophecy. That's one thing that they were talking about. There's a prophecy. And the way that I feel about this is that these people from long ago who buried the roses and left them clueless or whatever, and now the roses have been ascended and they're in these new contracts, it's just like, I suppose they thought that by turning us off all the way and not giving us any guidance or knowing that we would just be forgotten or whatever. So we had, they got the vain people, these vanity people, these egoic people, they were puppeting people and then driving them into a limited perception or making them appear small. You were able to preserve yourself because you're an arcana. You're an arcana. You're a giant. I've heard said a titan. Yeah. Yeah. So we have an addicted person in the purpose of a sovereign being, pretending to be a sovereign being. So this has been what's going on. They want it to continue. They want to martyr somebody. They want to martyr this person again, over and over and over again, but God's not having it. It's like they elevated her and like brought her into more of a fullness because, you know, of this nastiness that have been happening all this time. So there is a congratulations to love in this competition. Love. And that serves as that song. What's that song? It's amazing what love can do. It's amazing what love can do. It's amazing what love can do in this competition. This competition is in the grave. This competition is in the grave because of your ability to self-care. In the midst of others intending you great harm from unseen places. Freaking crazy, man. Psychos. So it's like you could be a person of privilege. You have knowledge. It could be the important knowledge, or maybe you are seen as important. It could be that there's an important person that is afraid because you're a leader. Your pathway leads to leadership. And I've heard them say, no matter what, do not let her have this opportunity. They're desperate to stop this. They've claimed that this woman won't last a year. They're always strategizing and plotting and planning how they're going to eliminate her or unalive her. It's horrendous that this even exists in a realm of the living. Yeah. Somebody was expecting, these ancestors was expecting your things. They still may be. Yeah, the witch wants to be seen as you. This is an entertainer. This is an entertainer in the home, perhaps. We've got a backstory. It could be that you've brought attention to the history of what's been happening here. Yeah, yeah. Under the table location, horseplay, or unseen location. It's like they came in, it's like they'd hide under the table. They were creepers, right? The unseen creepers. But you kept your mind and your life clear. It's like they complain about your purification rituals. They don't like that. They're upset. They're upset about your healer qualities. They're upset about your alchemization. They say that you're a fraud, a hoax, because of the herbs you use to bring homeostasis to your body, to activate your cellular structure, to amplify the electricity in your temple, to enliven your spirit and soul. They're furious about it. They want to condemn you for it. They want to vilify it and degrade it and defile it and tell everybody that you're unworthy, that you're a fraud. It's crazy. It's crazy. Justice is happening here. Somebody was teaching others how to bring hardship to people's bodies. They were promised your spiritual throne, but you survived, and they're getting the message. That you were observed the whole time, peaceful. You are a creator, a singer of songs. You soothe the soul with your music, and they made you absent. Or maybe this is just a father figure who did something with your innocence. Maybe you're found innocent. This explorer was actually bringing drama to the realm, to the field, pretending to be you. They wanted to be you here and now. It could be that there's kin here and now. Hopeful. Optimistic. Well, since I need another cup of coffee, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this live here. I'm going to go back through the comments and just see what kind of comments we get. I'll try to figure out, what time of day, what day is best for live. And we got a lot of messages held for review. That's odd. Does that happen frequently? I hope you all enjoyed the reading. I hope it brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew. This storyline that I am picking up on is planetary, and it's centuries old. This has been an entrapment system of souls and energy of those temples housing the star seeds with direct connection to systems, astrological systems, right? Planetary systems. So, obviously, folks are upset, because there has to be a change. There has to be a big change. And those who have been traumatizing everybody and who have broken their oaths and committed heinous acts of betrayal, they're being cut out, and they're furious because this person survived. Persons, micro, macro. They're furious about it. They're telling each other that they have to put up with the Marys for a while, which is so malicious. This is a powerful being. And to be degraded verbally like that, so callously, it's really disrespectful. And I just don't feel that they should have the opportunity to be in this energy. I just don't. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. I'm grateful. Grateful. Well, I hope that you all have a fabulous day. I'm probably upload. I'm just going to leave this here for a minute because I want you to understand what it is you are. Your roots are in the depths and your crown is in the height. They used you as an exhibit. And everybody sees all now. And it could be that the depths and the heights are here right now defending you. Because the truth is seen, finally. So thank you. Alrighty then. Take care, everybody. I really wish you a wonderful day wherever you are. See you on the next one.